Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the TruuuTalk Podcast. This is season 2. Milan, what episode is it?
8.
It is episode 8. Now we're back again, 8 episodes. And as always, we got our 2 topics and our Ask Millie. Now, before I do the topics, let me introduce the team. Now, we are joined, of course, by the TruuuTalk First Lady, Miss Chitty. Miss Chitty, Chitty, bang, bang.
Chitty, chitty, bang, bang. Namaste.
Namaste. A man who needs no introduction, Mr. TruuuTalk himself, Mr. Ashley.
Show.
We got our very own banter bringer, Miss Milan, Miss Millie Rock.
Hey.
We also got our favourite girl from the small islands, Miss Shem.
Well, yeah, do the vocal.
And we are also joined by a special guest, LouisTheDJ.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Louis voice for me.
Louis
voice for me.
And of course, myself, DJ Sticky Fingers.
The one and only.
Thank you, Ashley. See, I'm not going to always rely on Ashley, you know. You girls, I can't trust you lot, but Ashley,
I'll always rate you. Don't worry. I'll always rate you. You and your one lot.
Thank you. So, this week's no different than any other week. Well, it is kind of. We still got our 2 topics, right? And if you're new to our show, this is how it works. We have 2 topics. We have our serious topic. We have our Ask Millie, where Chitty will give Milan a scenario and we know Millie's thoughts on it. Like Millie's our own agony aunt. And we got our fun topic. Now, this week's serious topic is, what is it like telling people about your sexuality? And we've got LouisTheDJ as our guest for that part. Obviously, we've got Ask Millie. And our fun topic this week is, which children's films or TV programs contain adult humour? Like, we're going to only think back to Cartoon Network, back to Nickelodeon, back to Paramount, or whatever TV shows you used to watch back in the day. That's all the ones I can think off the top of my head, by the way, right? So, kicking us off, LouisTheDJ, please let us know what it's like about telling people about your sexuality and things alike.
I think to do that, we have to go back a bit, actually. Because I think the time that I felt maybe anxious and worried about people knowing was maybe the times when I started knowing myself. So that was probably secondary school times, quite early, maybe like year 7, year 8. And one incident happened that made it really easy. So I had been in a relationship with a girl. And then what happened is my mum found a card in my bedroom. And I think it was a Christmas card. And the card happened to be quite lovey-dovey, and it had a girl's name at the bottom of it. So my mum, being a nosy person, obviously mums, they go through your bedroom and da-da-da-da. So obviously that's what she was doing. One time she called me into the bedroom and said, come sit down. And obviously, well, it was weird for my mother to do that because I have a quite Caribbean mother. They don't really come and ask you for kind of hugs and love and thing. So I'm thinking, what is going on? So I went to sat down next to my mum, and she kind of asked, are you gay? And I was like, what? And I didn't really know at the time. So at the time, I didn't say yes. I didn't say no. I said, I think so. I'm not sure. She said, what do you mean you think so? You're not sure? You can't have both. And I remember her saying that specifically. And then she was like, well, it's okay. You can tell me because your granny was at it too. And I'm, sorry, what? Yeah. So, and then she told me that the story of that is that, well, I don't even know. I have to go and confront my granny actually. But yeah, so there was something going on with a female in my granny's life. Clearly my mum knew about it. So I don't know if it was a big thing, but my mum knew about it and told me there and then. So it was like, oh my gosh. And I knew that my uncle was gay at that time growing up. So it wasn't, I wouldn't say it's a taboo, but actually, no, it was, because it wasn't spoken about openly. He was just him. And I just always knew my Uncle Philip to be Uncle Philip, however he was. But he wasn't flamboyant, so you wouldn't have always known this. But in his minute actions, I know, I get it now. Kind of me now in my big age. But after that, with my mum, I think unfortunately, she took the whole telling the family thing out of my mouth for me. So after I expressed that to my mum, she's gone around and told the whole family for me. So it's not even a thing that I had to go and say anything. It's one of those. Unfortunately, I think being in a predominantly Caribbean family, that's what happens as well. You tell your mum one thing, and then all of a sudden your aunties and your cousin, and it's topic of discussion. But after that, I don't think I was apprehensive of how I lived and how I was. I think, to be honest, a lot of people knew that I was gay before I knew I was gay, because my mum told me growing up I didn't like skirts, I didn't like dresses. Being put into shoes, I would complain about the shoes. I would always kick off the shoes, but I'll keep on the trainers. So there was actually telltale signs. So I don't know if it was a big shock to anybody, and it wasn't. I don't think it was a big shock to my dad neither, and I didn't actually tell my dad. It was actually how it happened was I had my sisters know about me and my sexuality. That wasn't a big thing. They kind of it was early on when they knew, but my dad never knew, because it was always like, oh yeah, dad's in the other room, the sisters together, we're conversating, we're having a good time, kind of thing. So we went out to Harvester. You know, all these moments you kind of end up remembering the specifics of the thing. So it was at Harvester one year. We went out. My sisters, I think my dad's girlfriend at the time was there as well. Eating around the table. My sister asked me, "Oh, so how's your girlfriend?" I looked at her, and I was like, "She's all right," and got straight back into my food. That was all I could do at that moment. And it wasn't. She didn't do it. Well, she did do it to say it, blah blah blah. But she didn't do it on purpose. It was just a topic of discussion kind of thing. But it's like, God, we haven't had this discussion. We haven't said that to dad yet. How are you kind of having this? That was all going in my head, but nothing was said about it. My dad didn't even look at me twice about it. It was just, oh, carry on eating. Oh, okay. Carry on eating kind of situation. And then I wouldn't, how would I say it? Yeah, it was just a concept that was accepted. There wasn't too much said about it. It wasn't, oh, how's your girlfriend conversation, but it was, oh, how's your friend kind of situation. And then there was times when I would go down and stay in Luton, and there was family gatherings and what have you, and he will book a hotel room for me, but he will always ask, oh, yeah, are you coming with your friend kind of thing, whether to book like a double room or what. So it wasn't exactly it wasn't acceptance, but it was an acceptance in his own way. As a Jamaican man, I wouldn't say hardback Jamaican, but he's still rooted in, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't say that he wasn't apprehensive or nothing. He wasn't standoffish. It was just it. That's that. And then the girlfriend became his wife, and then I was with my partner for however many years, and it was just, yeah, how's your girl, blah blah blah, and what have you. My uncle came down one time, oh, you still with so and so? No, yeah, we're not together no more, kind of thing. It was just like a general conversation kind of thing. It's not even a hoo-ha situation. It was just acceptance. So I'm kind of lucky compared to other people growing up and having to tell their family and friends. But even having to tell my friends, I think my friends just knew, if I'm honest. I was never a skirts kind of person, a tight up, what have you. I mean, there was a period of time when there was flares and pedal pushes and things like that. I think I was trying and to find myself, you know, I wasn't quite sure, putting it out there, you know, you have to. And then I think finding myself, it was all through secondary school, you know, finding clothes that I felt comfortable, not wearing tight skirts and what have you, like everybody else is wearing my baggy clothes. My clothes were every many size bigger than me. I can't even believe, when I look back at some pictures, it's like, why, who, yeah. I think at one point, I'm sure I wanted to be a member of B2K, if I'm honest. I'm sure. And what? Anyway, yeah, I'll fling up a picture one day and I'll show you. But to be honest, telling my friends and people around me, I don't think I didn't have to. A lot of people around me accepted me for me. And I think if you didn't, you probably weren't around me. I didn't know that back then, but that's clearly how it was. I mean, there was a few digs here and there from some of the older guys that were in higher years than me, but I had as much chat for them as they had for me. So I wasn't one to cower away and be quiet. recessive. Yeah, I was out there kind of loudmouth and thing. So it wasn't it wasn't my character to not retaliate. So it was always that kind of situation. And then I think at the time I had a girlfriend in the school who was in an older year than me, I think I was in year 8, she might have been in year 10. So I think there was a sense of, how can I say, appreciation for the fact that my partner is somebody else that's older than me. I had a girlfriend that was a year older than me and what have you. And she wasn't that bad looking, she make up you kind of situation. So I think maybe that helped the situation too. I'm not sure, because I had a friend in my year that was a lesbian as well. She had a partner in the school in the same year as us, and she didn't get treated the same way I got treated. And she maybe got a few more digs and a bit more arguments and conversations about her sexuality, or because of her sexuality, where I didn't have to have them conversations, or I didn't have to have that anger or arguments towards it. I don't know why that is. There could be a few things, but I'm not sure. I don't want to put it out there, but so I knew that there was a difference. I knew that there was other ways that I could be treated, but I just weren't one to take everyone's bullshit. And that was basically it. So, and as I've progressed through education, I progressed through life, I think I just mixed with people that took to me and that I took to, energy wise and vibe wise. And I was I was in sports when I was younger. I'd done dancing. So from going to school and being around the crew of people that I kind of hanged with who would accept me, when I came out of school, it was the same situation. I was around people that accepted me because of what I was doing outside of school as well. And then the people around my area, I had, I think it was more, everybody looked at us as tomboys back then. I don't know if they thought we would, all grow up to be lesbians, but we kind of all did. And then, I don't know, we were just taken in by the boys of the area, maybe because we was as boisterous as them, so we was getting up to badness at the same time they were getting up to badness. I mean, everybody's one, we came from the same strip kind of thing situation, so it wasn't no bias or negativity around the area neither. So I've got to kind of be quite thankful for my growing up, how I grew up in my journey, because I wasn't subjected to a lot of negativity and discrimination that there really is out there. Only now growing up and hearing other people's stories and seeing a lot of the institutions around me and that I'm in education, and the way they deal with sexuality is what's kind of opened my eyes to certain discriminations because of the way people are dealing with it. But this is because my eyes are open, I'm grown up, and I'm aware. So I'm looking at from a different angle to say the least. But yeah, I think that was the gist of how things went for me.
Can I say one thing? I have to say something, Stick. Sorry, you're not gonna interrupt me, Sticky. You're not gonna cut me off. Not today, yeah. No, you said something. You said the word energy, yeah. And like hearing your story and hearing how you put it across, I fully believe that it was your energy that gave you that experience. I believe that you attracted that experience yourself because you were able to accept yourself for who you are and you were comfortable in your own skin. You projected that energy out there. So, and I think when somebody is comfortable in their own skin and they accept themselves and they accept their sexuality, then it doesn't really leave much room for other people to enter with a negative vibe. Do you get me? So I definitely believe that's law of attraction right there. You did that. You did the law of vibration. You put that out there as well, and you gave yourself a good experience, and I just think that's beautiful.
And at the same time, in the time you've grown up, I actually left home when I was 15. So I didn't have I did if I wanted to, I had to go to, but I didn't have no one governing me or ordering me, directing me. I done that for myself. I was allowed to be who I wanted to be because I had my own quarters. I basically had my own house to be able to do what I wanted to do from the age of 15, hostel situation and but yeah, and by the time I was 18, I had my first property. So I'm a butterfly now because I can just fly. Because I've kind of got it all. I've got to this age as well. You know, I'm able to maintain my property now because obviously you reach in the system you have to reach 18 before they give you a property. Or obviously you can't sustain it for yourself because obviously you can't get a job and blah 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 blah. So obviously after that, done my thing. I'm still in education. What? No one can't tell me now. I'm doing my thing. So at the same time, it was a positive experience to have, and as well as it being a quite negative process or negative journey, it was quite positive for me. And I guess that again, the law of attraction.
Of course, it's like it's metamorphosis in the human experience, and you did that. So you got yourself to a point where nobody could touch you from the time you can be 15. Like I left home when I was 15 also. So you have to have that mindset where I'm gonna do this. It's something that I've made a conscious decision to do this, and it's going to happen. Once you put that out into the universe and you tell the universe that that's gonna happen, it happens. So I rate you, definitely rate you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely a lot in there, actually. And I must say, firstly, thank you for actually sharing that as well. I know it's quite personal, and you know, you share it to the masses. So thank you for doing it. I'm going to be sending messages quickly. Brina says, at dad. It's about your dad. Empress is clapping. Brina says, yes, the right energy is everything. Shards Music says, yes, preach. Shouts to Shards. Brina says, that's what sunk in for me, not allowing certain vibrations. And also says, powerful as well.
Oh, thank you guys.
So I'm sure that there'll be a few questions. So who's going to kick off first of questions for Louis the DJ?
Yeah, no, what I wanted to say what resonated with me, because obviously when you said about being on the road and having your own little crew and the man them just kind of like accepting you lot and understanding that you lot are girls, but you lot are on your thing and this is what it is.
Yeah.
I experienced that, innit? So I grew up probably about, I don't know how old you are, but I can say we're probably about roughly around the same age. So it's like, I grew up in the hood and there was a group of girls that were masculine and man couldn't treat them no way or deal with them funny or man have to treat them like how they want to be treated. You get me? They're man now, you get what I'm saying? So it just becomes that. You get what I'm saying?
I get exactly,
And that's the key point. It's like, once you are who you are and it's not questionable, some people might test you. Because everyone gets tested. Do you get what I'm saying? But if you're confident in who you are and you are what you say you are, no one can't budge you or break you. Do you get what I'm saying? And that resonated with me because I've seen it. You get me? I know lots of girls that are like lesbians and it's from day man knew where it was. And man, they get more gal than man. You get what I'm saying? Like, but no, that
there's a certain lines I just spoke to certain men in school because it's like, what do you really know what this is? Like, well, obviously there's little jokes and what have you and little one-liners they got this is like, is it all right? Yeah. Before I come home and take your mum, don't. Yeah.
You get me? But I get that. But that's the beauty of it, man. Once you know who you are and you're confident in who you are and you're sincere in who you are, nothing that anyone feels or says is going to change that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why you controlled your experience, man. And you get me? I definitely respect that, really, man.
Thank you very much, man.
Billy, was you going to ask a question?
I was. Literally hearing you speak, that's like, I'm straight, but that's so empowering. I feel like, yeah, I can be your corner, like, yeah, come out there, girl, you gotta do your thing. Like, that was a beautiful speech. Obviously that's your life. Do you know what I mean? But I just wanted to ask. So although you said you had a positive experience and your parents didn't cut you off or anything, but did it make you feel a type of way when that they was referring to your girlfriend as your like friend? Do you know what I mean? Like your family didn't say, how's your girlfriend? Where, if you have a boyfriend, people will come out, oh, how's your boyfriend? Is he coming over? Is he coming round? Do you know what I mean? Did you ever feel a type of way because they just said, how's your friend?
Yeah, no, do you know what? I didn't, because it wasn't as often, it wasn't always spoken about kind of thing. So it was literally here or there. And because I think it was only from my dad, really. And because I think I accept the kind of person he is, he's done his bit. He ain't shading me. He ain't cut me off. He ain't da. So whatever he gives me, that's it. But at the same time, you'll be like, "What? You're my daughter. Come on now." But it's just nice to know that it's always going to be that kind of thing. There is that unconditional. So it's like I'll allow him to have that. Whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? Whatever he feels comfortable saying and putting himself forward and saying, I'll take it. Because I'm getting the best of both worlds here. I can't ask for too much, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of I'm pushing it a bit, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah.
No, that's true. It's true. Because I was just thinking, like, you know, like some parents, even down to friends, as soon as you come out, that is it. You are shunned. You are like the scum of the earth. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know why it's like that for so many people. Obviously, you know, growing up again from like a Caribbean background and being black, like I think, like if I was a lesbian, I'm not, but if I was, I feel like my mum would be more accepting than my dad. I feel like my dad would just be like, "Sorry, pardon, you're a what now? Like you said you're straight, yeah?
Yeah.
Like no, I said I was a lesbian. No, but you said you're straight. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's how he would be. But then I feel like eventually he would just have to get over it. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things. But I think it will take him a longer time than it will, like my mum. Do you know what I mean?
It's basically. Oh, go on.
Oh no, that's fine.
No, I think like it's basically how much they've been liberated. If they're quite old school and if they're quite rooted in old school in old school traditions and old school cultures, that they don't, you can't see them really breaking a cycle, like to the fact that maybe your parents are overhead doing certain things that they don't have to do. Like there is running water, we don't have to save water. Like if they're, do you know what I'm saying? If they're quite rooted, then it's quite hard to liberate these parents, because they're quite old school and they're set in their ways. They're stone, to put it in the picture. That's what they are. They're not going to budge. They're not going to move, because the way they've come forward, the way their generations come forward, their foundations have been quite strong. So a lot of the time, that's why when they obviously come over to Western countries, they call it a Western thing. What do you mean you're a lesbian, you're gay? What's that Western something, that kind of situation? But a lot of the time, it's because where you've come over to another country, you've seen obviously multiple cultures mixing, and the land has made it possible for multiple cultures to be mixed. I mean, there's mosques everywhere, there's churches everywhere, there's synagogues everywhere. We've got everything. We've got temple. We've got it all. So as the generations are going on, they're kind of basically becoming more open and more liberated to the idea of others coming in and differences happening, because they're open to it. So then when you then take these ideas to a country that hasn't been quite open, and hasn't seen these modern day theories and technologies and existences, they're quite, what the hell is that? Were you coming with this Western ideology, this Western idea of being gay? It is quite Western, because obviously back home that was ripped out because of, unfortunately, slavery. You know, it's always quite deep rooted, but breaking the buck was a thing. Do you know what I mean? So a quite masculine man will be basically raped in front of his whole family and everybody that's there that was black, to let them know that master's in charge. This ain't the man. Master's in charge right here. So that's basically through, you know, the years, it hasn't gone nowhere. So it's just manifested in other ways. But yeah,
exactly.
That's a strong thing to say. That's a good point. But thank you for your story. It's, like I said, it's very liberating. Literally, I want to be like the cheerleader on your team. Literally, it's really good. Thanks, man.
So you're saying is Louis going to turn you, Millie? Is what you're saying, yeah?
What?
Don't answer that.
Like I said, I got to
definitely change me. I'm a lesbian now.
We can go party, Google. We can go party and we can start there.
I do have a question for you.
We can do a little drinking. We can see what happens. Hey, girl.
Louis, I do have a question for you, actually. But before I read the question, so I'll ask the question, read some of his messages quickly. Brina says, I learned today, thank you. It also says, in it, Millie. She also says, there was a level and love. Sorry, there was love and a level of acceptance. A heart emoji. Also, speaking of Brina, right? If you haven't already, as I always say, check out Brina's Addictive Cakes on Instagram, all right? Now, I have tried Brina's cakes, and it's a whole nother story. I'll tell you about that later, right? Because she gave me a sample of the cake. She started telling me about her bun and the ackee and all that. I'm telling you, I got receipts this time as well.
Oh,
she gave me the cake. I got the receipts as well.
That sounds so sinister, man.
I got the receipts.
After hours chat, yeah. Once we're off the live and we're just talking, yeah.
You know what as well, right?
11 o'clock yet, Sticks. This is 11
I'm
o'clock.
I'm getting to 11 o'clock because she phoned me at 11. I was on the phone with her at like 11:30 on a Friday night. Yeah, Anyway. You think I'm joking? I said I got receipts now.
Can I ask one question on that? Did she give you a big piece?
She did indeed. It was buff. Shah's Music says, "True, you fully have to meet some relatives halfway, especially if they have that old school view." Again, yep. Brina says, "Caribbean old school mindset is old school Caribbean mindset." Caribbean old school mindset is set deeply in the older generation. Yet, Shez, shout out to Shez Khan, says, "As long as relatives are not disrespecting but accepting, that's something good." Peely says, "Unfortunately, teaching through religion." Also, right, I've said before and I say all the time, Peely's a troublemaker. Peely and Chili. Peely and Chili, again, it's a day, okay? No, honestly, I'm coming for them two today. Brina says, "Shocking things were done to our ancestors that have set root." Yep. And Brina says, "Sticky." And Brina says also, "I know Ashley." Okay, fair enough. And everyone, Rosie Posey's laughing. I'm telling you, you guys think I'm joking. I've got receipts, right? I have receipts of Brina's messages and the phone calls. Oh yeah, I got it, mate. Trust me. Anyway, Louis, my serious question that I had though for you, right? I know you mentioned when you was talking, I was thinking about something that Milan touched upon as well. What was it like, or was there any difference in terms of, as Milan said, if your partner was a man, like when it comes to like family functions, like barbecues and stuff like that, I'm sure that your family would have said, "Oh, are you bringing Jerome over, Peter, Sam, whatever his name is?" Mm-hmm. Was it the same for when you had your partner? Was she invited to family functions in the same way, do you think?
Yeah. It was the same thing. In more time, it was like, "Oh, do I have to bring her? Really? I can't just come by myself. I can't come one up. No, you don't want to just see me. I can't just shake my leg." Because it's always, all right, cool. But every time, I don't care who you are, where you are, when you bring a partner, there's always a sense of responsibility you have to deal with. So there's never the free up yourself. Don't tell me you're going to come, I'm going to act the same. No, you're not. You're just not, because you're going to take care of your woman or you're going to take care of your man. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, no, it was always, "Oh, yeah, you're bringing it out. All right. Like, to the point where when she wasn't about them, it's like, oh, is it? Oh, what, can I still come? Kind of situation. But yeah, no.
Oh, that's cool, man. I'm glad to hear that, to be fair, because I was a bit like, not concerned, the wrong word. I was like thinking, I wonder what it'd be like, because I'm trying to think what it'd be like. My family would. I don't know of any of my relatives who are same-sex relations. I'm sure there are some. I can't think of any. I'm sure there's some who are not even telling us, but probably feel away because they assume what we might think. Like for me personally, I've been to more enough LGBT parties to not even care anymore to who does what. I couldn't care less, really. Only thing I care about is what me and Cher do, right? And me and Brina do as well on that as well. Cher,
I was going to give you such a beautiful comment, and I was going to say you're such an empath. Yeah, you've got such beautiful empathetic energy, and then you went and fucked her. That's my real life cousin. Sticky, don't make me come for you. Yeah,
a real life cousin in a real life.
In a real life, Sticky.
I'm telling you, Brina gave me the biggest piece. I tell you, anyway, Cher, any questions for Louis, the DJ?
Yeah. First of all, I want to say big up to yourself. I think it takes a lot of courage to actually come out, because there's a lot of people that, take years to come out or don't even come out at all, or they come out and then their family disown them. So I think it takes a lot of courage to do that. And I just wanted to ask, in terms of like when it comes to certain communities, would you say there's like a certain type of community which was more accepting?
Okay, so I can put it out there in the sense of maybe raving. When you would go to maybe a gay rave, it would be whatever. Yeah, all right. More time is, oh, who you with this week kind of thing situation. Oh, who's that girl kind of thing situation. When it was straight waving, as you would call it, it's more so a situation where everybody's kind of instead watching it again, because you've got more dominant males there that are heterosexual. So it's a total different vibe. So unfortunately, it takes a real level-headed person to go to a straight wave with your partner, because at the same time they are going to be different type of looks that you might not be so comfortable with because it is a man. And then sometimes there's a situation where your girl might turn around and give him the eye too, and because you may not be able to offer what your girl is looking for or what you may think your girl's looking for, there's a situation. That's happened so many times. That's happened so many times. Not to me personally, because I couldn't give a because if you're looking, that means I'm not doing something. That means you need to go, clearly. But it's more of a what? How can you what? But you knew that was gonna. You're an idiot. In more time, because why? What? Come on, man. Because more time is situations where they're popping off because they're just insecure, unfortunately, and they won't know. Yeah, it's a thing that is not. It's not spoken about enough. And masculine presenting studs or masculine presenting lesbians or those that are masculine presenting and don't identify as heterosexual do get put in a certain type of category. And then when they get put in a category, it's like they have to act a certain way. So when they are acting a certain way, you've got a problem with it. But then you shouldn't make them act a certain type of way, because then there's that whole element of reassurance that they're not getting. So it's a two-way street, unfortunately, and a lot of times it's miscommunication. A lot of females that think they may be bi or interested in females but not quite sure tend to be on the fence and play a lot of unfair games that can't be played as well, because it's just not the same ballpark, and that's damaging, basically.
Yeah, when they're trying to find themselves, but they're not really sure. Yeah, that's that can be damaging to someone's mental health. That can be damaging to the person that does identify as gay in whatever way. That is usually damaging to them, because they're being kind of taken and run around for idiot, and they don't quite know it because they think, oh yeah, but it's an experience for the other person, kind of thing. It's a period of time that they're going through, and it won't be like this forever, because this is not their predominant type, because they have been here or there before they got to you, maybe. Yeah. There's so many situations. Oh my goodness, I can be able to forever. But yeah. Oh, wow. And just one more question in terms of your mental health. How did you handle it? Like, was your mental health okay in terms of like when you came out, or did you struggle with it?
I think for growing up and going through life the way I did, I think it was when I got to my first house when I was about 18, when I started to realize my mental health and take note of it, because I think something had happened, and then it just weighed on me, everything that I had been through. And then it's basically, I had to stop and take a moment. I wasn't able to function. I had to stop and take a moment and realize where I was, what was going on, what was happening, because I had to make some decisions to where I wanted to go, basically. So I literally had to stop, and it was like, then I started to think about my mental health. And I think it was then I started to realize that I have to do some tracking back in history for myself.
Yeah.
When it came to like family and things and down the line or what have you, why I got hair and how I got hair. And that's when I started to kind of like, oh, do you know what? No, I need to separate myself and put myself in a certain light. And then I think it's again, growing up the way I did and not being at home and not having a center. It's like I surrounded myself with people. They weren't the right people. I learned from early. I had to make shifts. I had to make movements. They had to come in and out of my life quite quickly and what have you. And that happened, I guess, until like I first got to my first house, when I was able to mentally relax into a space that was my own. And then that's when I kind of started to make navigations of life and how to go on.
So like going through your personal healing journey kind of thing.
Yeah. But then I think it was because I got knocked down why I had to start going through my personal healing journey in the first place.
You had to do it yourself.
Had to do it, exactly. I had to do it. There was no other way because I was by myself. It was literally you do or die. You kind of succeed or you don't. And then thankfully there's always upbringing. There's always things that you remember from your upbringing. And one thing that I remember that my mum always used to say to me is that the certificates and things they can't take away from you. When your name's on a piece of paper and what have you, it may only be a piece of paper, but if your name's on it and you achieved it, they can't take it away from you. So that's when basically I got through. I kept going on that premise basically, and that's why I went to uni kind of thing and went down the education route kind of situation. And I kept going. Yeah, so
that's good, man. That's good. I respect that.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
See that? Definitely knowledge is power right there, right? So before we go over to Chids, right, because I know we've got to do the Ask Me. I'm looking at the time thinking, boy, before we go to Chids and do the Ask Me, I see Chids getting ready for it, right? I'm going to read some of his messages quickly. Teachers, I thought I'd give you some warning there. Now, before I read the messages, before I forget, right, don't forget, next week, I haven't told you guys yet, but next week, we're going to be doing the quiz, okay? We've had it twice before. I think Milan won one when she cheated. Yeah. And yeah, she cheated. She was full on cheating. Brina won another one, but again, Brina was asking me for the questions before the week. Again, I got receipts as well, but just point it out there, okay? Anyway, before we get over to the Ask Millie, Brina says I had bare cake.
Hold on, does that mean that I'm the only person who won legit?
You cheated.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Okay. PD says she can't hear anyone, but that's because PD needs a new phone. DJ Empress says, as long as no one takes my chids, we're all good. Honestly.
But I don't know. I don't know actually though. I don't know because it's like Louis the DJ. It's Louis the DJ for me right now.
You leave my Empress alone. She likes she's my dumpling brethren, so we be like eating dumpling together. Who else will we see some of those messages? Empress says, Brina, it's not cutting out. Okay, hang on. Empress is put on here, right? Brina, it's not cutting out for you because Sticky don't want laxative in his cake. Oh, mate, I'm telling you, Empress is something else. Brina's another set of situations I didn't think of. Empress says he always tries it with me and Peely85. I think they're referring to me. I don't try it with you two. I'm just coming. As I said, this week, I'm not even going for DJ Empress this week. This week is all about Peely and Chili. Them two are something else. I told you they should get a room. Them two are not ready. I'm just fed up with them. That's what it is. I'm just fed up. That's all it is.
Don't pick on me, Stick. I've had a long week. Leave me alone.
And Brina says, stop the lies. I'm not sure what's talking about me there. Chids. I don't know. Have you got the Ask Millie ready?
I have. It's very straightforward and straight to the point this week.
All right, cool.
So, my favourite auntie's husband is moving to me in church. Should I tell her? Mad thing.
Okay, first of all, can we just give Louis a round of applause because that was a very beautiful speech, very beautiful. Thanks, girl. Thank you. Loving that one. Second of all, I mean, Sticks, you've got 20 minutes and you haven't bicked into no one, so calm yourself. Third of all, wait, her auntie's who? Wait, what?
Oh my god! I'm gonna have to get it again.
He's a church man.
Yeah, her favorite auntie's man is moving to her.
Basically moving to her in church, you know. Right.
I think right there and then.
I mean, if the Lord doesn't intervene, then well, of course you should.
How would you do it though?
First of all, no, I can't even go where I want to go with it. I can't.
Go there. I want to go there with you.
I mean, does she like the guy? You know, some people like an older man. Like, does she feel him? Oh, sorry. Was that my? Let me stay on track.
Only Milan.
Because obviously the auntie's not doing something, right? So obviously he's looking elsewhere. He likes her. So. Wow. I mean, what's she got going on in her life? Is he okay? Although, if he's cheating on your auntie and then talking to you, he's probably going to do the same thing. Do you know what I mean? So you don't really want to get involved in that. But maybe you can like mold him, calm him down, settle down.
What if he looks like an uncle? Like an uncle.
Oh, then you need to go. Do you know what you need to do? You need to stand up in church when they're doing the sermon. You need to say, I need to speak. The Lord is coming through to me right now. And then you need to turn to him and start reading receipts. Just start reading receipts. Maybe print it off as well. So as you walk around, you just hand it out. Every other person, so they can share. Actually, no, you still got to keep a 2 meter distance in it. You might have to print off. That means there's only about 15 people into church right now because everyone else will be online. So what you do, you just print off the 15 sheets and you just hand it out and let people read receipts. Because
is that only if he's ugly? So if he's fine.
Yeah.
So if he's fine, what happens then?
Then I mean, you just go move in and just push your auntie out the way. Get what I'm saying?
Wow.
Wow. I mean. If you ask me what's my advice, I mean, okay, how long have they been together? Do you know what I mean? Because if they've been together for a while, I mean, has he been moving to you this whole time? Or is it only now?
It's your auntie, innit?
It's your auntie's husband.
Oh, husband! Oh,
yeah.
I didn't even hear the husband bit. So does that mean that he waited until you was of age?
Probably.
Is she? How old is she?
Milan thinks of everything.
How old is she, Chiz, or you don't know?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I presume they're all, well, what I'm hoping they're all of age. Yes, they are all of age.
Okay. 27 and 19.
Yes, we'll say that. Let's say that. Yeah.
27. Auntie's 27, niece is 19.
Yes, let's say that.
So she's legal age. She can make a decision, but morally.
I mean, that's a whole husband. That's death do us part and vows. Hold on, vows that they would have done in church. Nah, you need to go tell your auntie
in the same church
right now. Literally, probably in the same church with the same pastor. Yeah, no. Sunday. What day is it today? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 4 days. You got 4 days. Print off your paper if you need ink. I mean, I don't have a printer, but
shit! I just remembered. Yeah, these are actually real situations that people are actually.
Yes, it's a real situation. So what you need to do is your local off license.
We don't know what happened with this one, but you know, we need the advice from Milan. So what was you saying about
print
printer?
Off your receipts. That's what you need to do. Print off your receipts. If he's ugly or not, because he's a whole husband. I didn't hear that part. I mean, sometimes my hearing goes. Do you know what I'm saying? So you need to print off your receipts. And when you go to church on Sunday, before you go, say hi to the pastor and say to them, you've got something to say. You want to preach to the people then. And then that's what you do. Send receipts. How are you? No. Case closed.
It's a no. It's a Simon Cowell no from Milan. Okay.
It's definitely a no for me.
I got a question though, because I know Milan is saying no and all that, but why does it make a difference if they're married to if they were dating?
Because if you're dating, anything goes.
This is your favorite auntie.
Sharing is caring, you know. Wow.
No, but if you're dating, I mean, it's not like depends on how long you've been dating for.
So
it's not
question:
concrete.
you can be dating someone, so that person is technically your girlfriend or boyfriend for 4 years.
I mean, if they're looking elsewhere, then you're obviously not doing something at home. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
so it
you might be
invalidates their feelings. But what about the person's feelings? So it invalidates their feelings. Milan.
Girl, it's 2021. People have been dying of corona. Life is too short. You go out there.
Shit. Oh shit! Then
you get yours, you reel it in, and then you deal with the consequences after. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's the whole family against you.
It's April, yeah, and it's April. Normally, April's supposed to be pissing down of rain. It is snowing. That means that the world is ending. What if the world ends and then what? Then you didn't get to say, Uncle, like, cool. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the world's ending. Life is too short. Go out there and do your thing.
Brina says people are bright. DJ Impress says Dutty Ras man. Brina says Millie, laughing at Millie. Impress has got a vomiting sign. Brina says didn't think of that either. Miss Nam says don't tell your auntie stay out of people's marriage. You'll always be the problem. Oh, keep your distance and be boundaried. Okay, fair enough. Miss Nams also says, if you're moving to, if he move into you, you're probably not the only one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. You might not be the only one, or again, who knows? So the truth will definitely come out. Brina says, I hear you, Miss Nams, but I don't think I would be able to hold my mouth. That's a good point, you know.
Literally, so Jen, like on like now a serious note, would you literally sit there at family events, whatever, sitting across the table, knowing that your uncle by like marriage is cheating on your auntie by blood? Like that's not gonna run. Not in my household. Anyway. I'm gonna end up dashing gravy on you every time by accident. Like
one time, accidentally.
This is the thing, yeah. You got to do it pattern though. This is the thing, because you see, women, yeah, they don't believe nothing. They'll believe the husband.
That's why I'm saying you need to believe the husband. And hand them
you can't tell the auntie. You know what you got to do. This is what a real.
Tell the grandmother.
Tell the grandma. Listen. What? I wasn't even thinking of that. That's better than what I was thinking.
Tell the grandmother.
I was going to say tell the cousins, yeah? Because, you know, the man them will just start patterning up. The man them will pattern him up, fam. You tried to move to my girl cousin and, bro, what? I'm going
yeah.
My thing, you speak to man.
Yeah.
You can't even talk. You just, bang. You get me? So that's one way. You get me? Because the cousins then will pattern him up. Nanny, woo, yeah.
Nanny's not playing.
Yeah. That's straight sauce. That's going straight to the sauce still.
Mm-hmm. He did what? No, I'm not in the chat. No, sir.
That's it.
Bro.
She's telling everyone. Uncle's finding out. You know when Uncle finds out. Uncle's bringing cousins, bringing... This is mad. Anyway, let's not talk about that.
I can hear my grandmother now. Me here say, keep call your grandfather uncle. And... You get me? It's mad.
Everyone's getting called. Everyone's getting called. Show them the message. Show everybody the message.
He said, what did he show me? Show him.
Call him inside. Call him in here.
Are you?
Read that message out loud.
Yeah, tell Nanny.
You guys are killing me, man. Brina says, me and my aunt would have him up. Miss Nam says, I will have to, because if they get back together, you're going to be the problem. That's a good point, you know. If they get back together, you are the problem.
Yeah, hence but this is why you tell the cousins, yeah, because even if they get back together, you still bang them up. One time.
Hence why I said I'm keeping my distance.
Man and man, you see, man know how to deal with man, you know. This is the thing about women. This is why you got men in your life. Sometimes you need to go pattern up a man, fam. And you have to tell your boy cousins, go pattern man up. Like, you get me? Like, you're married, yeah, good, you got a husband, you love him, but if man violate you, this is why you got men in your family. So, man, get me, go pay man a visit and them things.
Oh, wait, I got a question though, Millie, right? So you're saying that if it's your aunt's husband, you're going to tell everyone and what have you. What about if he looked like, I'm trying to think of a man that you'd like, who's tall and light-skinned? The Rock. If he was The Rock.
Who?
The Rock, I mean who? Dwayne Johnson.
The Rock?
Yeah.
Omar Hadwick, I think his name is. What's the name?
Oh, I mean, if you look like him, like I said, you just gotta push Johnny out.
Hey, uncle. The land.
Hey, uncle.
No, I mean, I don't.
She's
I don't do what's the person called? Nam or something? Because
Miss
I'm gonna
Nams.
keep my mouth shut just so I can look across the table and just.
Millie,
you want the gravy?
To be fair, though, I don't think he wants to keep your mouth shut. I think he wants to keep your mouth open. But anyway, it's a long story. Right, we've got 10 minutes left to go. We've got 10 more minutes. Right, don't forget, next week, we're going to have our quiz. If you're joining the quiz, you need 2 devices, all right? 2 devices. If you're joining the quiz, we're going to have 10 people. Louis, hopefully you'll be with us next week as well.
Not other
2
people
devices.
In the ring either,
I'm Peely's ready. Listen, me and Peely have already had our conversation about this. The key, it's on. You didn't get us this week because your game was whack, mate. Yeah?
I know it is because we got a guest. We got a guest.
I know you're trying to be nice. I get it. But see, next week, watch, yeah? Fuck it, I'm bringing my whole family on next week.
So if you're joining us next week, remember 2 devices, right? We're gonna have a quiz. It's a start at normal time. Start at 10 o'clock. It's only 45 questions. There's some bastard questions in there as well, right? I'm going to let you guys know. Some serious bastard questions. Like, I looked and I thought, what the fuck is the answer to this? And I didn't even know what
bastard.
Exactly. And I thought, I was thinking of you guys. some basketball questions in there. So that's next week, all right? But we've got 10 minutes left to go. So let's move over to our final topic, which is which children's films or TV programs contain adult humor? So it's like a fun, light-hearted thing. I know your views on that. So Louis the DJ, as our guest, I want to know your views on some of the old TV shows, cartoons with adult humor. Back in the day, even it could be new ones.
Yeah, I did. I think more time it's when I look back at them, it's like Ross, swear down. And then it goes, I think not so much TV because I wasn't on my TV watcher, but it's the music that I was singing back in the day. I'm thinking, what, when two become one? Who?
You have no business singing that.
What? Really?
Girl.
Don't. It's serious.
If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friend. That's
Missy Elliott, come, get your freak on. Get your freak on. What do you mean get your freak on? What? And obviously I was a dancer, I danced, so I was exposed because I think I spent a lot of time outside and inside. That's probably why I didn't watch TV so much. So it's only now when I look back on certain programs and certain things, it's like, my gosh. But then I was watching Family Guy from when I was young. So that was always a go-to.
And like Quagmire, yeah?
What filth? Imagine. Just open out there.
Vibes. Creepyana. Rafe
and
vibes.
there's an old man in there that whistles through his teeth and he loves off Chris. He's basically a pedophile. He really is a pedophile.
But to be fair, that's an adult cartoon, though, I suppose, right?
That's true.
To be fair, it is for adults, like the humor's for adults. But
yeah,
I said earlier, I said Ren and Stimpy. That the cartoon, Lord God, when I look back at it now, I'm thinking, bro, what is this? Like, how was this on?
It was kind of peak. Still, I can't lie.
How was this on for kids?
I don't remember what they used to talk about. I just remember the images was a lot.
Like, how was this on Cartoon Network? Ren and Stimpy. It was just a madness. When you look back at it now, I'm thinking.
And the next one, Cow and Chicken.
Cow and Chicken was weird.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
I used to love Cow and Chicken.
It was so weird. And like Magic Roundabout and things like that, that was basically like acid. You're tripping. Like literally everything was tripping. Everyone was high. Like all those like, and then what's the other one? Johnny Bravo. It's the Johnny Bravo.
I see that little clip the other day still.
Johnny
That's
Bravo
like toxic
was
masculinity.
Macking, but he was proper begging it from girl, like proper like rape vibes. Do you get me? It was mad. It was.
Speaking of things, hold on. Brina says, "Who's old enough to remember Rainbow?" PD says the Perv. Brina says Rainbow. I know Rainbow. Brina asked on PD. They're showing their ages, and guys can tell their ages in it on this one. The sexual innuendos had me crying. Also, Johnny Bravo. I was horrified. The last episode they did, Brina, too much. Shez says, I don't even think Ren and Stimpy was for kids. I don't know.
It was on Cartoon Network, though.
That's what I'm saying. It was madness.
It's crazy. It's just absolutely insane. And another one as well, actually. I made my daughter watch Pinky and the Brain, yeah? I told her to watch Pinky and the Brain because I used to love Pinky. And she said they were like blatantly terrorists. Like terrorists. She said, what are we going to do tonight? We're going to do like what we always do. We're going to take over the world. She said they were basically like terrorists, but obviously at that time,
fully fledged like terrorists, fam.
Oh my
God!
Shezcan says most kids' films have adult content. She says even Shrek.
Yeah,
Shrek is dope.
You know what I watched? Have you guys seen Shark Tale? You see Shark Tale? The original Shark Tale, right? You know the two, I don't know what they are. You know, I was remember watching them, and one of them goes, blood fire! Yeah. And I was watching it thinking to myself, but wait, it is a kid's cartoon, you know, I just saying blood fire in this. Like, I mean,
blood fire is the synthesis of all of the bloods.
It's true. It's true.
But don't kids' programs and stuff have adult humor so that like when the adults watching it, they can enjoy the film? Do you know what I mean? Like they can watch it and feel like, ha ha ha.
I guess so.
Maybe, but when the adults have just left the room and they're just sitting there watching the TV.
No, but then we did.
Even when they're sitting there with them,
as a kid, I didn't recognise it. That's what I mean. As a kid, I didn't recognise it. It was just I'm watching it, and because there were things. If I go pictures and I'm watching a movie with my son or whatever, obviously he's 6, so he don't get it. But I'm laughing my head off when I look at him. He's looking at me like,
yeah,
why are you laughing? That wasn't funny. And I'm like, no, but what? And I'm like, okay, sharp.
There was one Lego.
Do you know what I mean? Like he doesn't get it. He's just watching the movie like.
Yeah. But I feel like
Lego Batman's crazy.
the subconscious is picking up on it, though, isn't it?
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Your subconscious is holding that.
Of course it is. It's even
They're
like
not even clocking. The next situation is going to come up, and you're going to remember that. Like, oh, that's what that meant.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I saw something about Rugrats the other day. So they were saying Rugrats, basically, each character like represents a mental health disorder.
Serious.
I was like, yeah, because you've got like
all feeling little skits of
and then you've got Chucky. Chucky's like anxiety.
Anxiety.
Even Winnie the Pooh.
What's Tommy?
Like,
Winnie the Pooh.
Like mental health issues.
What's Tommy then? What's Tommy? What's Tommy's mental health issue?
I can't. Tommy. I think he was what was
he's depressed, but he's putting on a front.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was basically. Yeah, it was like but he was like he was something about like he was suicidal and that, but he pretended every day that he was okay, and he tried to be the leader, but he felt inadequate. Like it was just crazy, and I was like, oh my god, I can't look at Rugrats the same again. Do you know what I mean?
A mad thing. What about the black thing? What about Cynthia? Is it Cynthia? What's the black thing?
No, Cynthia was a doll.
Susan.
Susie.
Yeah.
Angelica's in Angelica's imagination.
Serious?
Susie.
Yeah. Apparently she didn't even exist.
Oh, that's maybe. Never
it would be the black girl in it.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Rena says Shrek is my favorite. I forgot who mentioned Shrek. So Shrek is my favorite. It says also yes, sometimes it's too much. It was more subtle back in the days. Petey says that's worrying. That's the worrying thing. You can't leave your children to watch them things by themselves. Brina says no, not Rugrats. No way. Not my Tommy. I'm in shock. They said Popeye wasn't on spinach, it was weed.
Yeah,
Come on. Why do you think it's bare time you used to hit that spinach through the pipe?
And then go link. You get me? That was Chris Zachmick that he was on, because my mum was doing some mad thing. He was itching and that, and heroin. It was heroin.
Them and their runs.
But on Shrek, did you see that? Has anyone seen that clip? Lord Farquhar, actually, when he says like, mirror, mirror on the wall, show me the princess. And then he literally goes like this, where he's got a boner. Like, it was just, I thought, oh my God, I never noticed it, but I actually went and watched it the other day.
Yeah, I'm going to go watch that.
And he had a boner.
Look at me going to watch a little cartoon boner film.
Whatever makes you not get your rocks off, love. You know what I'm saying?
But I heard it's in like enough Disney films. They try and say it, but I'm not trying to take it. But
ages as well. Snow White was like 13 and that. Like, what's going on?
Guys, hold on. I'm gonna read a message. Rena says I didn't get the link between the pipe and the spinach, but yeah. Also says I'm gonna rewatch. Guys, it's almost at time, right? Exactly. It's almost at time. It's almost an hour. Almost at the end of the time. So before we say goodbye, firstly, gotta say a big thank you to LouisTheDJ for joining us today and sharing her story.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
Much appreciated. Thank you for that. It's definitely an eye opener. Also, next week, right, again, we're gonna have a quiz. I think it's 45 questions. I've done about 40 of them so far. 45 questions, yeah. And there are some bastard questions in there as well. I told you that already. All right. So if you're joining us next week, remember we're using 2 devices. Sorry, you need 2 devices to join, and we'll give you the link during the week and what have you. So 2 devices. You're gonna need to join the quiz. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And comment as well, okay? All of that good stuff. So look, guys, until next week, we're back next week. Obviously, of course, next week, Wednesday, 10 o'clock, with a quiz. I want to see Peely in there. I want to see Empress. I want to see Shez. I want to see LouisTheDJ. I want to see Brina in there as well. Obviously, no cheating, because remember, Milan will cheat her, right? So, but anyway, that's all another story.
Sticky. Don't let people sweet you up for the answers this time, cuz.
That's Brina, you know. Brina's always in my comments.
No, Sticky, listen to me carefully. Don't let anybody sweet you up for the answers this time. Don't blame anyone. Yeah? Strong-minded this time, okay?
Come on,
tunnel vision, man. Yeah?
Definitely.
He jiggles him. He's like, oh, Sticky, can you tell me the answers? And he goes, all right, then, babe.
Guys, look, hope you have a good Wednesday, and we'll see you next week, all right? See you later.
Bye.